9 pounds. That's what she pushed out the first time. Remember that number, because it's gonna matter in about 14 minutes. A woman is sitting in her bed eating Jack in the Box at 13 weeks pregnant, watching the same circus everybody else is watching, except she's in it. She's the circus. And what she said on that live this weekend quietly torched 3 different narratives Blueface has spent 8 months building. Nobody's framing it right yet. So we are. Real quick before I unpack this, y'all already know the routine. Hit that like, smash subscribe, ring the bell. We're cooking a long one tonight, and you don't want to catch the cliff notes from somebody else. Stay with me. So what actually happened? June 27th, 2026. Rella Bay Bee, the woman whose voicemail Blueface allegedly leaked on his own Twitch stream months ago, the woman he's publicly refused to acknowledge as a baby mama, went live from bed rest. 13 weeks, high-risk pregnancy. Second one by him allegedly. Gender reveal scheduled for July 11th. She wasn't doing damage control. She wasn't crying. She was eating fries and dropping nukes between bites. Instagram, Rella ultrasound post June 2nd, 2026. The live ran loose. That's the part that matters. Loose lives are where people slip. And she slipped. Let's just put the words on the table. Raw. No spin yet. On Karlissa's silence. My mom been text her a long time ago. Just because Blue not confirming my baby. She's not going to respond. So if I get to be Patty, and when my baby comes, and it's confirmed that it's your grandchild and it's Blue baby, I don't want to hear, 'cause baby I'll be holding grudge. Okay. Hold that one. On Blueface allegedly coaching Nevaeh's vocabulary midstream. He keep calling the girl buoy, but, 'cause when we was arguing, all I kept calling the girl was buoy but, and trying to roll his tongue and all that, like, very unforgettable. That one's wild. We'll come back. On the Catalina footage, Wack 100 called AI. I get if y'all don't get why I came and tried to save face about it being AI. Y'all don't get it. I do. I do as you please. That's her saying she understands the cover story. Not that she believes it. There's a difference, and that difference is the whole episode, on what she sends him before posting. Anything I put on the internet, I send it to him first. Including the ultrasounds. Hold on. Read that one again. Anything. To him. First. This is the woman he allegedly won't confirm. The woman whose pregnancy he's allegedly denying. And she's running her social posts past him before they go up. That's not a denial relationship. That's a managed one. Quick reset on what we know publicly. Blueface came home November 2nd, 2025 after a 4-year probation violation bid tied to that 2021 assault case. Within weeks of release, the carousel started spinning. Jaidyn Alexis went public about wanting 10 grand a month in child support. He went on a Twitter rant about single mothers. Nevaeh's pregnancy hit the timeline. Then the voicemail, Rella's voicemail, got played on his own stream, which is how the world even learned her name. She didn't out herself. He did. And then, allegedly, the Catalina photos with Chrisean Jr dropped, and Wack 100 sprinted in to call the whole thing AI before anybody could vet the metadata. Let me pause on that sequence, because I keep getting tripped up by it. He comes home. Within 7 months, he is publicly tied to, by my count, 4 women across various stages of denial, confirmation, soft launch, and lawsuit. Jaidyn, Chrisean, Nevaeh, Rella. Each one in a different lane. Each lane requiring a different story. And, actually wait, back up. This is the part the timeline weaves into something uglier. The deleted post about Nevaeh allegedly not being his girlfriend even while pregnant. The Hot 97 sit-down where the pregnancy got announced on Twitch. The mom, Karlissa, oscillating on whether Chrisean Jr is even her grandson. Every story he tells contradicts the last one. That's not chaos. Chaos is random. This is structured. One frame. One word. That's all I need. Buoy butt. It's a nickname Rella says she used during arguments with Blueface. Personal. Specific. The kind of thing only somebody on the inside of that argument would have access to. Then, weeks later, allegedly, Blueface is on stream with Nevaeh using the same nickname, same cadence, same tongue roll, about the woman Nevaeh has been feuding with. 2 interpretations. 1 coincidence. He just happens to recycle vocabulary across women he slept with. Possible. Lazy but possible. 2. He's still in active backchannel with Rella. Close enough that she's clocking his linguistic tics in real time. Close enough that he's importing her language into a different woman's mouth. I had to sit with that for a second, because if it's option 2, and remember she also said she sent him her posts before they go up, then the whole Rella is just some random side chick I won't acknowledge. Public posture is theater. Quiet theater. But theater. One more lens, because this part deserves it. The legal one. Court records from this past spring show Blueface had his ass capped, and BMI Music royalties redirected to Soulja Boy's ex Jacqueline Martinez to satisfy a defamation default judgment he ignored. Read that twice. A court already took his publishing income because he ghosted a lawsuit. So when Rella casually says on live, "I'm not going to take him to court just because," only if he doesn't step up. She's not bluffing. She knows the playbook, and she knows it works. The man already has a default judgment on his back. Another one isn't theoretical. The outlets are not telling the same story. That's the tell. Shade Room and the gossip ecosystem are running it as relationship drama. Who's pregnant? Who's lying? Who's the side? Pure soap. XXL and Hot New Hip Hop are coding it cleaner, leaning on the Nevaeh angle and treating Rella as a peripheral character. Hot New Hip Hop. Nevaeh refuses to reveal how many rappers. Complex is the one paying attention to the manipulation layer, the AI claim, the Wack 100 cleanup, the publishing seizure, the legal business angle. And almost nobody is connecting all three lanes into one strategy. The strongest counter-narrative I keep seeing in comment sections is, Rella's reaching. She's chasing clout off his name. None of this is connected. Steelman that for a beat. She could be reaching. She's pregnant, allegedly by him, allegedly for the second time, with no public confirmation. Of course she's gonna talk loud. Of course she benefits from staying on the timeline. Except, she herself said it on the live, almost as an aside. I didn't even tell y'all until Blue put me out on the internet playing my voicemail. He outed her, not the other way around. The clout argument requires her to have started this. She didn't. He did. Receipts on his own Twitch stream prove it. So the she's chasing angle dies on its own evidence. Which leaves the question nobody's asking on camera. Forget the relationship drama for a second. Forget who's pregnant, who's lying, who said what at the park while their kid begged for juice. Here's the thing I keep circling back to. Every move Blueface has made since walking out of Lancaster. The Jaidyn child support shrug. The Nevaeh soft launch then walk back. The Chrisean Catalina photos getting nuked as AI. The Rella voicemail leak. All of it serves one function. Audience management. He's not in 4 messy situations. He's running 4 parallel publicity lanes, and each one feeds a different demographic of his viewership. Jaidyn keeps the family man / MILF music label crowd engaged. Chrisean keeps the legacy crazy and love reality TV crowd on retainer. The people who watch Zeus, who'll watch anything. The Catalina photos either being real or AI is almost beside the point. The conversation itself is the asset. Nevaeh imports a younger, newer fan base. The women Rella herself noted, the ones he keeps describing in colorism-coded terms. The light bright demographic, in Rella's words. Rella is, and I say this with no joy, the control variable, the one he can deny publicly while still managing privately, because she has no platform leverage independent of him. She didn't come into this with an OnlyFans empire or a hit single or a reality show. She came in pregnant. That's not a man losing his grip on his personal life. That's a man who learned during a 4-year bid that controlled chaos cells better than the stable image ever did. And here's the jab nobody's throwing yet. He basically admitted the playbook himself when he conceded the Chrisean Jr. storyline boosted his business. He told you it works. We're just now catching up to how systematized it's gotten. Receipts on receipts. The mom oscillating on her own grandchild's paternity isn't a glitch, it's a feature. Wack 100 calling photographic evidence AI without producing the original metadata isn't a defense, it's a delay tactic. The voicemail leak wasn't a slip, it was a controlled burn. I'm not saying he's a genius. I'm saying he's been doing this long enough that the moves have calcified into instinct. There's a difference. And the saddest part? Rella sees it. She said it on the live. That man don't love nobody but his back himself. Once everybody start realizing that, everything will be good. She told on him in plain English. And the comment section kept arguing about whose baby looks like Karlissa. July 11th. That's the first domino. Gender reveal results come back. And depending on what she got, and how she chooses to roll it out, the next month of the story writes itself in one of three directions. Watch how fast the burner account messaging accelerates if Rella's carrying a boy. Boys in this saga have historically attracted more public engagement from him. Don't be shocked when a leaked DM screenshot surfaces somewhere between the reveal and her second trimester ultrasound, conveniently positioning him as either the involved father or the unfairly accused victim. Either framing works for his audience. Both keep her name attached to his. The path that flips the table, Rella files. Not for support yet, just for a court-ordered DNA pre-birth or birth-adjacent. Once that paper hits, the Catalina deflection model stops working, because you can't call a paternity ruling AI. By autumn expect either a quiet settlement, an aggressive counter-narrative about her motives, or, and this is the one I'd actually bet on, a sudden public confirmation from his camp the second the ruling becomes inevitable, repackaged as him stepping up rather than being caught. The 5-year residue. This is the one nobody wants to talk about. 2 confirmed children with Jaidyn, the contested one with Chrisean. Nevaeh's pending, Rella's pending. That's potentially 5 kids before he turns 32, across 4 mothers, none of whom currently appear to be on the same page about anything. The publishing royalties are already legally encumbered from the Soulja Boy judgment. Once the court orders pile up, and they will pile up, the income streams that fund this whole circus contract. The MILF music label survives only as long as Jaidyn's Columbia deal performs. The streams shrink, the platform contracts, and the same controlled chaos strategy that built the brand starts feeding on itself, because there's no calm-down version of this guy. He doesn't know how to be boring. The cultural residue lands harder than the financial one. There's going to be a generation of younger artists who watched this and concluded that maximum public mess is a viable career strategy. Some of them are going to try it. Most of them are going to learn, about 6 paternity tests in, that you need to actually be famous before you can monetize chaos. Blueface had a hit. They won't. And Rella, sitting in bed, eating fries, watching a movie she's also starring in? She might be the only person in this story who actually wins. Not because she's playing it smart necessarily, because she stopped pretending she wasn't watching. That's the part. The rest of us are arguing about the AI footage. She's already taking notes for the custody filing. Run that one back if you missed it. Y'all got the read. You weren't going to get anywhere else. Drop your take in the comments. Boy or girl, court or no court. Who's lying harder? I want to see all of it. Like, subscribe, ring that bell, and stay close, because the July 11th update is already on my board. Fame Cryptix out.